What's up, Kids Club? In case it's been a minute since someone told you, kids are amazing! Did you know that a kid invented the trampoline? And a kid invented the popsicle? And earmuffs? And a Superman? And swim flippers? And Christmas lights? And have you ever heard of Ruby Bridges? Yes? Great! No? Cool! Watch this!
Ruby Bridges was born right as schools were being desegregated in America. That meant that for the first time, Black children like Ruby were allowed to go to school with white children. But many white parents didn't want their kids going to school with Black kids, so they tried to stop it. Ruby walked to her new school as a crowd of people all around her yelled and threw things at her, even though she was only 6 years old. These adults called her terrible names and threatened her. But someone who was there that day with Ruby said she never cried and she never yelled back. She stayed courageous and kept walking. But as soon as she got to the school, all the white parents pulled the kids out of school, and all the white teachers, except one, refused to teach that day. That teacher, Ms. Barbara Henry, taught Ruby all alone, as if she were an entire class of students, and this went on for months. You might think Ruby would hate the people who were being so hateful towards her, but no. Instead, she prayed for them. Please, God, forgive these people, even if they say those mean things. They don't know what they're doing, so you can forgive them, just like you did those folks long ago when they said those terrible things about you.
Yep, kids are amazing, including all of you kids in Kids Club. In fact, it's time to meet one of my amazing Kids Club friends, Henry! Henry is a musician, dancer, and circus performer. Now, the first time I met Henry was actually when he was a first grader in Kids Club. I was a volunteer leader in his room. He's a little older now. And today, he's the leader because I can juggle, but not like Henry. I can only juggle 3 small objects at a time. Henry, show us what you can do. Amazing! And later, Henry's gonna lead all of us in a juggling class. But first, Henry, what got you interested in juggling?
I got interested in juggling because my dad and uncle used to juggle when they were my age. I wanted to learn something that was unique.
As you started juggling, was it easy? Like, did you just pick it up, or
No, it was really hard. It was really hard to begin with, yeah.
So why keep trying?
Any skill takes practice. Things like these take practice, and I would say I was 12 years old when I started juggling. There's plenty of people who can learn at like really young, like for example my sister who's 5 years old is trying to learn to juggle as well.
Cool, so Henry, what's a new skill that you're working on right now?
Right now I'm working on this skill called a flourish. I'll be juggling 3 pins, but the trick is I do a double rotation in the air and then I do something else with my hand over here.
Oh, he did it! Did you catch it? Who is someone that you admire or look up to?
I really look up to my dad just because he really shows me all that there is to accomplish. He's an artist, he can juggle, he's a musician, and I just aspire to do as many things as he can do.
Way to go, Henry! You are one of the amazing people who grew up in Kids Club. And I know there are lots of you in Kids Club who are doing amazing things. And we'd love to hear about it. So if you want to share something you're doing, let one of your friendly Kids Club volunteers know. Now, there have always been amazing kids, and there will always be amazing kids. Henry was little all those years ago, and it's been cool to see him grow into the young person, the young leader he is now. And today's all about how you can be a leader to others. Yes, you, a kid in Kids Club, you can be a leader. And not just like a line leader, or when you get a high score up on the leaderboard. We're talking about real leaders, people who are examples or role models to other people. Leaders like a young person in the Bible named Timothy.
God's story, Timothy. So part of God's story is about a guy named Timothy, and it goes like this. Timothy was living in a town called Lystra with his grandma Lois and his mom Eunice when he met the Apostle Paul. When Tim was just a kid, his grandma and mom taught him about God. They taught Timothy to enjoy spending time with God, the same way you enjoy spending time with your friends. Timothy knew a lot about God and had heard that God was going to send his son Jesus to rescue people from all the wrong things in the world. Since there weren't any TVs or newspapers back then, he didn't know that Jesus was already here. One day, a man named Paul came to Tim's city and told the people there that God had sent Jesus to the world and that we can know him and follow him. Tim wanted Paul to teach him to follow Jesus. He also wanted to learn other things Paul knew, like how to pray for his friends, how he could know God even better, and how to tell God's story. Kids, could you imagine loving to learn so much that you go to school all the time? You start following your teacher home on weekends and going with your teacher on vacation. You even go to school in the summer. That's kind of what Timothy did. He followed Paul everywhere so he could learn new stuff about God all the time. But they didn't stay in one city. They went on a journey to a lot of cities like Corinth, Greece, Jerusalem, Rome, Athens, Phrygia, Galatia, Mysia, Troas, Neapolis, Philippi, Apollonia, Berea, Thessalonica, and back again. Have you ever taken a trip with one of your friends? When you spend a lot of time together, you learn a lot about each other. Well, Timothy spent a lot of time with Paul, and he learned so much from him. And all those things he learned, he started telling other people. So Paul took Timothy along with him as he traveled preaching and teaching. They started many churches during their time together. After a while, Timothy and Paul couldn't be together all the time. But that was okay, because Paul still wrote lots of letters to Timothy, and he was able to keep learning and tell people about God. In one of Timothy's letters to Paul, he said that some people thought Timothy was too young to teach things to grown-ups. But Paul said, don't ever let people tell you that you're too young to tell them about God. You can show them how to act like Jesus. Now, the problem for Tim was sometimes he felt scared. He wasn't afraid of the usual stuff: spiders, dogs, darkness, heights, snakes, or dentists. He was scared to tell people about God because he thought nobody wanted to listen to him. But Paul taught Tim that he didn't have to be scared of anything because God was with him. And we don't have to be scared either because God is always with us too. Timothy learned a lot of other things from Paul's letters too, like how he should always tell the truth, how he should make friends with people who are lonely, and how he should not be worried about looking cool or getting a lot of awesome new stuff. Remember, learning about God was Timothy's favorite thing to do, so that's what he kept doing his whole life. And that's the story of Timothy. So in case you missed it, here's the quick version. Timothy liked learning about God. He followed his teacher Paul around the world. He kept learning about God. He taught people even though he was young. He showed people what it looks like to follow God. And that's a part of God's story.
Maybe something about Timothy sticks out to you. Maybe it's that he was a leader when he was really young. Maybe it's that he learned about God and Jesus because of leaders like Paul and family members like his mom and grandma. Or maybe it's something basic like you know someone who's also named Timothy. That's cool too. Whatever sticks out to you, you can be a leader. You can do what Paul said to Timothy. Set an example for the believers in what you say and in how you live and in what you believe. You can think of these scarves as representing your words, what you say, your actions, how you live, and your beliefs, what you think. You'll need all three of these as you grow into the person God wants you to be. And you'll need all three of your bags or your scarves for our juggling masterclass with super awesome circus performer, Henry. Take it away, Henry.
All right, cool. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna drop these two scarves. We're gonna start with one. So, first thing you're gonna wanna do is hold the scarf with your palms facing the ground. You're going to toss the scarf across up like this. So ready? Like that. go ahead, try that. Cool. All right, so we're gonna move on to 2 scarves. So, first thing you're gonna do is you're going to toss one, then toss the other, catch, catch. So it'd be toss, toss, catch, catch. Let's try again. Toss, toss, catch, catch. If you didn't get it, just keep trying. And if you did get it, great, we can move on. Cool. Now, for 3, you're going to want to hold one scarf with your thumb and your pointer finger. And then you're gonna hold another scarf in the same hand with your pinky. Got that? Now, when juggling, you're gonna wanna count out loud. So, first we're gonna toss this first one right here in between your thumb and pointer finger. It's gonna go like this. Here, I'll show you. 1, 2, 3, catch. Here, let me show you again. 1, 2, 3, catch. That was great. Let's see if we can get to 4. Now we're gonna do the same thing, counting out loud, but this time, instead of going to just 3, we're gonna count all the way up to 4. Got it? All right, so, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you get it? If you didn't, that's all right. Just keep trying. All right, let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Now, let's see if we can get to 5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. Did you get it? Now remember, when juggling, you gotta make sure you're aware of your surroundings. So everybody, just spread it a little bit, make sure you're in your own little area, and everybody go at their own pace. It doesn't matter if anybody else is doing better than you are, it just matters that you're trying your best.
Yes, this is good. No, boy! Hey! Dude! He taught me! I can be taught.
Hey guys, I had a lot of fun today and I hope you did too. If that was easy for you, that's cool, keep it up. And if that was challenging for you, it's totally okay. Just remember to keep practicing. I had to practice a lot too. After a while, you all will get better.